Naomi.
You spent some time in a mental institution. What a dream life would seem if only they let you.
There you are. What were you doing in there?
I was sleeping, actually.
It's so cold tonight. You might get your white Christmas after all.
You smell good. Like curry.
I brought some takeout from the Scion.
That sounds good. Let's eat.
I'll get some plates. Anything happen today?
I sold a painting.
Really? Which one?
Steve Bloodgood. Another landscape piece.
I saw that we got a Christmas card. I could make out the name.
That was from an old friend of mine.
You heard from Sarah?
No, it's from someone I knew a long time ago in Maine. An old boyfriend, actually.
Oh. Anything I should be worried about?
Just a ghost from the past. Someone I'd forgotten.
Sounds as if this somebody hasn't forgotten you.
He sends a Christmas card once a year, maybe.
All right, I'm not worried.
It just reminded me of a time I haven't thought about in a while.
I'm fine.
Okay. I'm off to bed. Are you coming?
In a minute. What was his name? The boyfriend.
Alex.
How did you know him?
Steven, please don't do this. There's nothing to be jealous of.
You've never mentioned him before.
Maybe there wasn't anything worth mentioning. Steven, I'm here now. And I'm beat. I need to get some sleep. Talk about in the morning.
What? Naomi?
Morning. Do you sleep well?
Well, not really. Naomi, since when have you locked your closet?
Why?
I tried to open it.
I'm keeping something safe in there. You haven't been peeking.
Well, no.
Gotta go. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
I'm going shopping with Mother. She'll be here any minute.
Today? Haven't you done all your Christmas shopping?
I have a few left to buy. Aren't you going to work?
I don't feel well. I thought I'd take the day off. Naomi, we need to... Can't I talk to you?
Oh, that's Mother. I've got to go. I think we're eating out, so I'll be late.
You've been so odd with this strange person in the locks. Naomi,
I've got to go. Don't worry. I'll tell you about later if you want.
Naomi.
Well, piece by piece and nail by nail, it'll all come down someday before the fires of hell. You let me in your house. You let me in your house. You let me in your house with a hammer. Set to drop one, set to stone. Tit for tat and bone for bone. I'm gone to set fire to your glamour. Well, it's now rock that candy shop. Rock that candy shop. Rock that candy shop. Set it on fire. Run away and watch it burn. I'm gone to set fire to your glamour. Let's cry.
Snows here. Maybe it's my fault. He was a better lover than you. Alex, a better lover than you. I shouldn't have left him. He'd be so weak sometimes. He's so weak sometimes. Stephen.
Set to drop ball, set to stone. Did for tat and ball for ball. I'm gone to set fire to your glamour. Yes, to your glamour. Yes, to mom, to your glamour. To
Stephen?
Well, piece by piece and nail by nail, it'll all come down someday before the fires of hell. You let me in your house. You let me in your house. You let me in your house with a hammer. Set to copper, set to stone. Tit for tat and bone for bone. I'm gone to set fire to your glamour. Well, it's now rock that candy shop. Rock that candy shop. Rock that candy shop.
I'm Amy Sanderson. I'm the director of Her Closet. It was made a few years ago. I played in the New Orleans Film Festival and in Ohio, Utah, and some other small festivals in the country. I lived in a studio apartment my first year in New Orleans, and it was a small, kind of dingy, scary place, and the only piece of furniture in the room was this armoire. It came with the apartment when I rented the place, and so that's kind of where it came about. Sort of creepy story about this armoire that was in my studio apartment in New Orleans. I guess, and it sounds like a pretty simple goal, but I'm glad that when people watch it, they understand something about it, and that they get something about the story. And I mean, when you're learning about storytelling, that's, to me, a lot. That's, they at least understand something about it. The set, the closet, was really simple to make. It was a really simple construction. We just went out to the studio, the UNO studio late at night. We found some old flats, put them together, painted them red, gave them some sort of interesting angle so it had some sort of shape to it. I guess because it is sort of a fairy tale, and it is kind of a fantasy, that I felt like I could kind of get away with that and make it very, I don't know, storybook or theatrical-like, and very colorful and fantastical, I guess. Definitely the screens where he walks into is something that I found. We found these screens that were left over from, I think it was the Big Easy, that was shot out here many years ago, and so we found their old screens that they'd used for that, and so that would be kind of cool. We could do something with shadows and that kind of thing, so that evolved. I knew that I wanted a hallway, I knew I wanted a door, because it all plays into the myth and the fairy tale about Bluebeard and secret rooms and that kind of idea. So I'm still kind of playing around with fairy tales and folk tales a little bit, and so I'm going back to that, and I'm going to do sort of it's a period piece, but it's using the same kinds of tales and folk tales that are kind of woven into a larger piece. So it's set in New Orleans in 1790, and it's also spooky and creepy, and it's sort of a murder mystery.
Say, dog, for more information, log on to www.timecodeNOLA.com, you heard me?
Over and over, it's the same story. Found Jesus, living in retirement in the 3rd Ward, waiting for royalty checks that never came. Didn't travel well. New York too cold, LA too far away. Never heard of the Beatles. Too racy for vanilla broadcasting until lightened by Bobby V. Corporate squawks and jingles of shopping mall radio. On Jane Place, behind the prison, the Funky Butt Bar where Buddy Bolden Blue ain't nowhere to be found. All rabbit-faced rose the moon. With you, mother, shouted the bass man as he carried the drummer off stage. You should be carrying me. The moon full of ships, masts rise above the rooftops, sail across dry land. The smell of the tasty donut shop cuts through the mosquito fog. The little trucks come out at night and disappear into the clouds. 40 hours a week he pounds nails. 5 nights he plays to make the groceries, light bill, and kids' tuition. Drives to Baton Rouge, 8:30. Late for the gig and my 2 back tires down to the threads. The jazz carpenter. Moonlight, the chief source of opium. Oleander's dream for the noontime heat. The ghost of Thelonious drifts through waves of heavy air. 14.7 pounds per square inch here at sea level. Beds on balconies. Bricked up fireplaces. A single amen at 6 o'clock. As the sun fades under the beaks of angels. Rained all night. And the face of the moon is cloudy. Its silver screen. Experiencing technical difficulties. This is the greatest place in the world. Why would I ever want to leave? Got stuck here and died early. James Black, monkey puzzle master of 5s and 7s. There's a hurricane in the West Gulf, but here we have a pleasant breeze that rocks the casement windows. Today we board them up and get some Holy Virgin candles. Light up and hope the banana trees make it. A frog burps in the garden as I sit in the corner attracting worms, living in a world of my own, buoyant and tipsy on a wave of wind. The personality dissolves upon contact with paradise. Adam and Eve learn their names on the way out of the garden. Get thee to Chicago, Satchmo, said the voice of his dream, and he went.
Hi, I'm Renee Broussard. I'm the founder and executive director of Zeitgeist Multi-Disciplinary Arts Center. We've been around for a little over 16 years. We're an entirely volunteer, artist-run, nonprofit organization. Our mission is very simple, something for and against everyone. We provide a venue for full-time film, video, performance, visual art, avant-garde music, dance, poetry, spoken word. We also do live theater. Our mission is really to provide a venue for work that would not have a venue otherwise, or a voice otherwise here in the city of New Orleans. For those people who, want to pigeonhole us and think we're one thing, every schedule we try to have, something completely fresh and different. So people are always like, oh, wow. And, it's that wow factor we're looking for. Every 2.5, 3 months, they're organized really by Courtney Egan, who is a local video artist who's also currently an instructor at NOCA, the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts. She's a brilliant video artist, and she started doing these open screening potlucks out of her home on 2nd Street, and inviting, people from throughout the media community. The idea was to try and forge a sense of community by, sitting around in a social environment, looking at each other's work. But they started to get so popular, it outgrew her, her home. And so a couple of years ago, we offered her to use the space here, and it's really been really wonderful to have an opportunity to see, people, just sort of coming out of like under rocks with these like incredible works that you're just like, where'd you come from? How come, nobody knows about you and nobody knows what you're doing? And it's an opportunity really to, for artists to meet each other, see each other's work, to try and forge collaborative efforts, to, sort of create, as I said, like a media community. How do we create sort of a New Orleans version, a much more laid back, big, easy sort of media community? And we find that, well, you got to do it with a social gathering. With Zeitgeist, we just became a partner with Film Movement, which is a really unique independent film club that was founded by Larry Mystich, the famed producer of such films as Sling Blade, You Can Count on Me, Henry Fool, Ill Town, Laws of Gravity, Belly. He's produced hundreds of independent films, and he's put together this this series of venues throughout the country, and we're at the moment the official southern venue. We have an interesting philosophy here. It's like, people always approach me about wanting to rent the space to show their video, and I'm just like, no, we don't work that way. We're always looking for work to show, and it's like, come in, our goal is to, pay artists to show their work, so.
If you like snoozer, you might enjoy Gargantuan Things, a collection of short works by Jason Affolter. Contained on this very neat DVD are Snoozer and other assorted projects. Some of these movies have been screened all around the world and won awards, while others sadly have not. You'll find art, adventure, comedy, horror, beauty, oddity, along with a super secret hidden bonus track. Gargantuan Things is available at Mojo Coffee House, Mushroom Music, Octavia Books, and online at filmbaby.com. Get yours today or tomorrow.
Timecode NOLA.com.
TimecodeNOLA.com.
Crescent City. 8mm.
Independent.
Video.
Log on to www.timecodenola.com. You heard me?
TimeCodeNOLA.com.
I've heard it said that there comes a moment in everyone's life when things suddenly jerk into focus. Become crystal clear. You suddenly awake to the nightmare. All things becoming distinct, cut from their surroundings with cold, sharp indifference. Some call it a moment of clarity, others an epiphany or awakening. To me, it's simply the moment when I saw beyond the illusion. The moment everything I thought I knew began to fall away.
Finish it. Wake up! Kill your old man.
It's all coming down around me. And it's coming down fast. It wasn't long after you died, he took me fishing down in the bayou. We were out there for hours. Things started off normal enough, but by late afternoon, everything had changed. He got this strange, distant look in his eyes. I had no idea what was coming next. He forced me down on all fours at the end of the dock and made me look into the water. I remember clinging to those broken boards until my knuckles turned white. I wanted to call out to you.
Tell me, boy, what do you see?
I saw only my reflection in the water.
I'll tell you what I see. Darkness. Bottomless black. If I stare long enough, I begin to feel it. Feel its current pulling deep inside. It's a monster, boy. I know what you're thinking. You think I killed her. You think I killed your mother.
I lied. I saw the darkness too. Just beyond my reflection.
Turn around and face me.
Who are you?
Me? I'm someone you'd rather not be. That your mother? I lost my mother too, about a year ago. They say it was an accident.
You don't believe it?
I know a little too much about how things really are. There are no accidents. There are things people do or want to do. They try to hide from themselves.
What about you? Where are you hiding?
Me? I'm not the one with something to hide. Let's just say I helped my old man confront his repressed self. Go on, get up.
You said it all so calmly, so softly. It was almost impossible to laugh at the absurdity of it all.
Don't worry. He didn't mind.
Need a place to stay? There was something strangely familiar about the look in his eyes. Something that I couldn't quite put my finger on. Something that, little by little, became unsettling to me. I think I was beginning to understand. Understand the look in his eyes. I'd seen it before. He wasn't insane. He just wasn't all there.
You want this? Go on. Take it. It's your only way out of this place. It's your only escape. Don't you think I know why you brought me here? You wanted your old man gone? You wanted me to take away the suffering with one shot? Well, guess what? It's not that simple. Tell me you can do this. Tell me you can pull the trigger. Shoot him. Be a better man for it.
Why? Why'd you have to take her away?
It's not easy, is it? It's not easy exposing the underside to the world.
Most nights I can't sleep. It's been months since I left, and I still can't sleep. I lay there, squinting into dark corners. I can still see him standing down by the water, fishing the swamp, whispering words I wouldn't soon forget.
It's coming, boy. When it gets here, we'll all get what we deserve.
The idea for this one is it's a 30-minute film. The idea is to shoot the film. Some people I've met in Boston have pretty cool connections. I'm going to show it around to as many people as possible. Show them the film, show them the feature-length script I have, try to get interest in the feature-length script with the short. I can use the existing footage, I can use the short, everything else that has to be shot is almost a completely different storyline. So I want to go back and reshoot. Okay, born and raised in the city. Went to Boston. My girlfriend got drugged up there, and just wrote a script, wrote the next script. I was kind of curious to see how a change of scenery would affect the screenwriting process. Ever since I was a kid, I always said I wanted to be known as a New Orleans filmmaker. I always wanted to make my films in New Orleans. People have done it before, where they've shot the city and made it look like other towns, other cities. So it's a great place to shoot. I came back down here to shoot. That was always in the plan. I'm here for like 2 months. A lot of the pre-production I did over the phone in Boston. Just called guys, got guys ready, set stuff up. I got the location, this place right here. Did all that beforehand, and came down with the idea I was going to shoot in a few weeks. Scheduling kind of affected that, and I pushed it back until the end of the month. So I've been here about 2 months. I used to go to church. The church I went to as a child. The lady in charge of it now is in charge of this place also. And just asked her and she said, okay. I shouldn't tell what I'm paying because then everybody's going to be like, hey, we heard that this guy didn't pay you jack in the music place. So, but yeah, she made a very nice deal with me, and that's how I got to use the place. I have to have insurance. Insurance is covering the sets, the equipment, all that kind of stuff. Just blanket insurance. I needed insurance, and I had to make her guarantees. Return to the proper condition when I leave. I'm paying electrical bills, heating bills, all that kind of stuff while I'm here. Anything that's over what her normal payment is. If it's $60 normally, and it's $260, I pay $200. It's supposed to be in the office, so this door has to be put in here, the closet there. There's 2 more windows that have to be put in. Most of the people helping me have been just UNO students working for free. Had a few professional guys come by and help out, mostly with suggestions. Since I can't pay them, they can't really work for me, but they've helped out. This is the other set. This is 3 different hallways. We're addressing it different ways to save on space. So originally, it's going to look like a very tissue-y, very bloody and very tissue-y. Once we're finished with that, we're going to unscrew it, tear it down, boom. We have the white walls underneath it. We're going to put tile down on the floor. It's the second hallway. Then we're going to pull a tile up, paint the walls brown. It's the third hallway. The doors are going to change every time.
is ready. More tea?
filmmaker, huh? You sit around with your partners talking about you gonna shoot this or I'm gonna shoot that. You ain't shooting shit. You gotta finish the sound bites, and I need ADR and my soundtrack music ain't right. You ain't making movies if nobody ain't seeing them. Get the done, you bullshitting. We need your film. Send them in today. Timecode NOLA, you heard me?
Timecode NOLA is supported in part by the Louisiana Division of the Arts Council of New Orleans, Cox Communications, and by people like you.